Thank you very much, Katherine. I would like to introduce to you next, and again, we do hear Matt Simpson with the American Civil Liberties Union is en route. But I would like to introduce to you Dr. Laura Pressley. She studied chemistry for her graduate degree at the University of Texas at Austin, and is a small business owner and a public health advocate. And just I'll tell you this, she was the one who gave me the different water before I sat down. She swapped out our water. So just a brief little bio about Dr. Pressley. Having been negatively impacted by the new smart meter installed in her home, Dr. Pressley had done extensive research on the effect of radio frequency on the human body, and she is here right now to share her experience. Please help welcome Dr. Laura Pressley.
I'm a little shorter. Thank you. Hi everybody, I am Dr. Laura Pressley, and I got my PhD in chemistry from the University of Texas at Austin, and I spent 17 years in the semiconductor industry in Austin, working at Motorola and Advanced Micro Devices. I've designed these chips, and I have improved their yields. I have managed teams in Malaysia, China, and Austin, and I know about this technology very, very intimately. What I want to do is talk a little bit about the health effects that this radiation causes. As you were just told, I have had really negative experiences with my smart meter at my home. Our smart meters in Austin, I don't know about San Antonio, but they send a signal every 25 seconds, and the power density of that signal is huge. It's over 2,000 microwatts per meter squared. What was happening to me, every 25 seconds, my skin would twitch like this. I could feel it. My legs, my muscles would twitch every 25 seconds. This went on for over a year, and and my husband, same thing was occurring with him. And we never knew what it was. We were just kind of joking with each other. Oh, last night after you went to sleep, your leg was twitching every 25 seconds. And then he would say back to me, well, last night your leg was twitching every 25 seconds. And we just thought this was funny. We didn't understand what was really going on until I have an autoimmune disease, so I'm ultra sensitive to a lot of different stimuli. And I couldn't sleep. I could feel every 25 seconds my face vibrating and my legs, muscles twitching, and it became so prominent that I couldn't sleep at night. And so we started researching what environmentally is being emitted every 25 seconds. I'm a chemist, I have a PhD in chemistry and physics, and I better be able to figure this out, and we did. It was our smart meter. And we actually borrowed an analyzer that would measure the pulses, and we found out our meter was doing that every 25 seconds, and nothing else in our house was doing it. So we had the root cause. We've worked with Austin Energy, and I'm going to be here to say that Austin Energy will probably be the first opt-out program in the state of Texas. They will. It's coming. The Public Utility Commission here in the state has recognized the health effects of these radio frequency pulses. Even the PUC, which is this mountain that we have tried to move here in the state. TAG has testified, I've testified, we have state reps that have testified on the health issues of these RF pulses. Austin Energy, we've worked with them for the last 4 months, myself and my husband, we kept going up the chain, and they're going to implement an opt-out program coming in April, most likely April. So that's what you bet. San Antonio will have to do it also because the PUC is doing it for the state. So San Antonio, when it happens, you guys need to opt out. You're welcome. I just can't take it anymore. I can't take it. So I have a PowerPoint I want to go through very quickly. And what I've done is I've done some research on the health effects of radio frequency signals. There's a study that was published in 2012, and it's by the Bioinitiative Report. And they came out with this outstanding summary of all the research that's been done in the last 20 or so years on radio frequencies and the health effects. And they summarized them by power density. And this is the issue. Think of these radiation signals hitting you, and think of it as maybe a baseball, or let's say a marble coming at you. One marble comes at you, it's probably not a big deal. But if 1,000,000 are coming at you, that's a big deal. You're going to get hurt, even if they're little marbles. And that's what the term power density is. The amount of power and the density of that power hitting people. And that's the key of understanding the health effects and what that power density drives from a health standpoint. This report that was done in 2012, I've got a PowerPoint. Let me show you. What I did, the first page here, you can see it, it may be a little bit difficult to see, is an FCC document that says what's the maximum power density that we as human beings can be exposed. And I want you to note, Federal Communications Commission, FCC, it's not the Federal Protect the People from Radiation Commission. It's the Federal Communications Commission. Their limits are so huge you could drive a bus through them. And that allows the industry to do what the heck they want to do. All right? The limits are huge and they're ridiculous. But my point with showing this is I tried to call Wade Garcia and Associates, who are the suppliers of these chips and these readers for the school. And I asked them today, I said, may I speak with an engineer? We don't have engineers. I was in shock. You're providing this product and you don't understand the technical specs of what's happening with this product. So I went round and round with this guy. His name is Ringo, and he had no clue what I was asking for. I said, I want to know the power density that's going to be emitted with these readers and also the chips. He had no answer. And so I said, well, who is the manufacturer? And the manufacturer is called Microchip. That's the company, so I went on their website and looked at their specs. So out of their specs, they don't even document the power density, because once you know the power density, you can go to a lot of different references and decide what the health effects of that power density is going to be. They don't document the power density. But I went back and forth on their specs, and this is the best thing I could find, that it would be, and this is documentation from their specs. It says, the passive tag is remotely powered by the reader's RF signal. It deals with very small power, approximately microwatts. Okay, well that helps me because that's not good. That's not a good unit. So I went back and calculated, based on what they did have in their documents, that their power density is 0.16 microwatts per centimeter squared. And I know that's a bunch of garbled, jumbled stuff, but I'm going to show you some numbers. What health effects that power density causes. Okay? So, 0.16, keep that in your mind. Oh, you can't see it. Dang it. Well, I will read it to you. All right. There was a study in 2010 that, and I will read it, reported that children and adolescents 8 to 17 years old with short-term exposure to base station level RF radiation, they experience headaches, irritation, concentration difficulties in school. And those are at levels of 0.003 microwatts per centimeter squared, and they're sitting at 0.16. We're talking orders of magnitude higher than what a study showed in 2010 to be affecting children between 8 and 17 years old. All right, that gives me chills. It absolutely gives me chills. There was another study, because science always is really good when you can reproduce it with another researcher down the road using the same kind of information and see if you get the same results. Again, in 2010. So there's two studies, this one and this one. In 2010, Thomas and others reported that these radiation levels of 0.003 resulted in conduct and behavioral problems in children, orders of magnitude lower than what these devices are going to emit. That should scare us to death. Who are the students in the audience? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Thank you for being here. And who are the students' parents that are here? Wonderful. I want to tell you how we appreciate you guys showing up and being brave enough to ask questions. Okay. Now, the next page of this that you can't see, I apologize. Is that the third one? Yes. So here we go. As we increase in power density, right? What are the health effects? So these ones I've marked here. At 0.16, which is what I estimate based on the data that they do provide on the power density of these devices, it says 0.16 microwatts per centimeter squared. You have motor function, memory, and attention of school children being affected. 0.16. At about 0.2, if you round up 0.16 to 0.2, the radio frequency causes a twofold increase in leukemia in children. Twofold increase in leukemia in children. And also, the next one says decreased survival in children with leukemia. All right, is this what we want to use our children for as guinea pigs, as Dr. Katherine Albrecht said? I say no. As someone who is very sensitized to radio frequency signals, I cannot imagine, as she had said, being in this situation and having my child being exposed. I would not do it. I would absolutely not do it. Nothing is worth our health. My grandmother used to say, when you have your health, you have everything. My corollary is, when you don't have it, you can't buy it. You can't go buy it when you don't have it. So you have to protect it every moment. And these radiation signals coming from our smart meters, the cell towers that are focused on schools, your router at your home, okay? When you go to bed at night, you better be turning those routers off. Okay, when you go to bed at night, you better turn your cell phone off. Take the battery out. If you can't take the battery out, wrap it in aluminum foil. It won't emit and it won't absorb. Okay, you have wireless routers in your home. They emit. Turn those off, unplug them. Opt out when the opt-out programs hit the scene. Those are things we have to do, and we have to nip this in the bud and say absolutely not. Okay, thank you. Oh, and I have copies of those studies. I'm sorry. I have 30 of them. And the parents that are here, I want you to get them. So please.
So 30 copies of the studies will be left right out front by the door. You know, one reason that I was asked by Texans for accountable government to do this is because they believed that my 10 years in and out of TV and radio station newsrooms, that I'd be fair, balanced, and all that good stuff. But I will share something with you. I will share that I do feel like, from watching in the back and hearing these two women talk, I felt like I was in that one movie. What was that Julia Roberts movie? No, Pretty Woman. No, I'm just kidding. But I do feel like I was in both of those. No. But on a serious note, I do think that it's very interesting to hear all this stuff. And I did thank Aaron Brockovich, Leon Vally staff.
Said, hey, we need you to write letters in support of the legislation. We need you to speak to the media. We need you to really roll up your sleeves and get involved and begin issuing press releases of your own and start saying it is not just a handful of people who oppose this, but it is civil libertarians and privacy experts around the country and around the world who strongly oppose this. So I got an absolute thumbs up from every single person in the room. We had people teleconferencing in, and they all give us a thumbs up. So they're on the case too.